There I was, sitting in my little small apartment in Palm Springs, anxiety ridden, and I didn't know what to do. Hi, my name's Linda, and I'm here to tell you why I moved at age 79 to Bali with myself and 2 suitcases. I was sitting in an apartment in Palm Springs and paying $1,500 a month rent and crying because I had just been laid off, or my boss decided to retire. He was 2 years older than I, and of course it made sense. And I thought, oh hell, I only have my Social Security to depend on. What am I gonna do? My rent is $1,500 and it's only gonna go up again, and plus all my other expenses. And I said, I'm fearful, I'm scared. I spoke with a friend telling him about my situation, and he said, may I loan you money? And I jumped at the chance and said yes. So for a couple of months I was able to make ends meet with his money that he loaned me. When my boss laid me off, I made application to teach at Palm Springs Unified School District. They were looking for teachers. And because I have a teaching credential from the state of California, I thought, wow, I'm a shoo-in. However, my application never really made it to the person who did the hiring until almost 6 months later. I had no guaranteed income except for my Social Security coming in. That stress, coupled with I owed my dentist almost $4,000, and he was kind enough to let me make payments, and I owed my friend more than $3,000 if you add the interest in. And I thought, what am I going to do? My daughter kept encouraging me to move to Bali. She had moved here years earlier and loved it. I thought about it and always rejected the idea until that day came when all of a sudden, monetarily, it made sense. Affordability was the key. I was paying $1,500 a month rent. My daughter said that place across from where she lived would be $500 a month. Wasn't a lot to think about. That's a big, huge savings considering I'm living only on Social Security, which at that moment was $1,900 a month. $1,500 a month versus $500 a month. No car payment, no insurance. That's it, I'm going. I started to make a list of what my budget would be if I lived in Bali versus what I was paying living in Palm Springs in this small little apartment. I started making a list. She suggested I make a list of what I wanted to keep, what I wanted to give away, and what I wanted to take with me. The stuff that I was giving away to charities, I had put in my car and drove it to the various places. And as I drove away from the last place, I just went up the ramp and thought, yay, next. The next thing was to figure out who I could give those things I did not want to give to charity. Things like my printer, my desk, a lamp, some pictures. Call those people up and said, hey, do you want this or that? Yes, yes. And at that point, I thought, whoa, this is it. This is really happening. Possessions that I wanted to keep, but did not need to take with me, I put into 5 tubs and thought to myself, whenever I come back to America, I will go through those tubs and start purging. And it felt good. There was a little remorse, but not much, because, you know, I'm starting a new adventure at 79. Who the hell does that? Not many people can do that. And I still had all my faculties. I still could walk. I still could talk. And I wasn't suffering from any kind of disease that I needed to be near a hospital or doctors. So I felt pretty lucky. The main reason I moved here was affordability. Because my only income is Social Security at $1,900 a month. And again, this little 2-bedroom, 2-bath bungalow coming for rent at $500 a month. What have I got to lose?
Mom, you're rolling.
We're filming stuff.
Just keep going.
The second reason that I moved here was for safety reasons. I feel safe here. I can walk the streets at night and not have to worry about anything because of the tourists. The tourists are on the streets. There's a huge expat community here. I made friends, people my age and younger. Speaking of safety, the local Balinese people are very, very kind, and they're very humble. And they will always greet you. They have pure respect for my age, and I like that. They look on me endearingly and will always help me out, always. I've never had an issue where they wouldn't. They're right there. Even the younger people will do the same thing. They always respect the elderly, which is, talk about safety, that feels great. The third reason is that my daughter lives across the way from me. So that God forbid something happens, she's right there. I can call on her and I feel very comfortable. As in Palm Springs, there was nobody around other than my neighbors. So what have I learned after living here for 2 years? I learned that I can get along without driving, that I can walk and get what I need within the community that's here. And if I can't get it, I'd hire a car. There's plenty of Uber drivers that would be glad to take me here or there in an air-conditioned car. And it's affordable. It's very affordable. For example, to go to a bigger grocery store maybe 5 miles away, and it may cost like $2. And speaking of affordability, I have figured out I live less than $1,200 a month, which gives me that money to save so that I can get a ticket, if need be, and go visit my grandchildren back in California. So some of the things I do, for example, I'll walk to the beach, enjoy a sunset at the beach. The sunsets here are spectacular. Bali's known for their sunsets because they're so vibrant, red, pink colors. I've joined a group that I meet the expats once a week for dinner. One of the things that I needed to do was stay active. Not working anymore, not having a purpose, I thought, what am I going to do? Fortunately, I have a yard, so I planted flowers, I planted plants, I have a lawn. My daughter has a dog. I play with the dog. I walk the dog to the beach. My dog, it keeps me fit, so to speak. I like to cook, which is fortunate because the groceries that I buy here are all fresh. They're grown organically, and I use those to make all the foods that I would make back home.
Do you have any nutmeg? Because I didn't have any.
Say hello.
And how do you do?
What is it, Mom?
Yes.
Oh, it was exhilarating. And
This
it's much like the 6 day.
There's lots and lots of meetup groups that I've joined. And for example, just on Saturday, I went and learned how to make soap. I do not have medical insurance here. Fortunately, again, I haven't needed it. But those few times when I have had to have and gone to the hospital for something, I had a bad case of COVID, it was affordable, and that's very important. Dental bills in America were outrageous, outrageous. And here it's all affordable. And here, I don't know what it is, either that I'm eating well or doing well or has a different mindset. But when I go to the dentist, she tells me how great it is for me. A gentle cleaning and I'm done. My very, very, very favorite thing, however, is I am debt-free. I do not owe anybody anything. Being debt-free, being stress-free, and eating healthy has me in a new mindset. I feel great. And I think that's the most important part of why I moved to Bali. I didn't know that 2 years ago before I moved here, how I would feel now. But I feel great.
Thanks again for watching this video. I really do appreciate you. If you're interested in learning more about my minimalist retired life in Bali, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for weekly updates.
Mom, you're rolling.
We're filming, stop.
Just keep going.